Ball comes in. It is a leveller. To the box, takes the shot and scores.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the Aldershot Military Stadium for the Army FA Challenge Cup Final. I'm Kath Brazier and we're delighted at BFBS to be bringing you coverage of this, the 124th edition of this fixture. And it's going to be a classic between the Gunners and the Engineers. Earlier we spoke to both camps.
Yeah, we've never been to the final before, so it's a great opportunity. We've played some Engineer regiments, good quality football, as you know, with a busy brigade that we're in, getting the team together all the time. But yeah, we've got there in the end and we're finally here. Just one more game to go.
And I believe 2-3 Parachute Engineer Regiment, you're used to playing and have played before, so you've obviously done your homework. Does that help ahead of this fixture?
You never know when you're in a final, it's always going to be a different game. There's tensions. We've played 2-3 in the league, great side, always have been. We drew 3-3 with them, but we both know that we had players missing for our team, so hopefully tonight we'll have a cracking game.
Obviously, whoever emerges victorious is going to be champions for the first time. That must be a bit of a carrot for the boys as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The lads are really looking forward to it. Like I said, they've worked hard all season, and now to get here and finally get our hands on that trophy, hopefully. But yeah, we wish 2-3 good luck as well, and hopefully it's a great game.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we've had a really good season. We played over 25 games. We did a overseas sports visit to Gibraltar. 40 soldiers represent us over the season. I'm second in the league, and this is the second final we're going to play this week with South Africa.
You've been in this position before, but whoever emerges victorious tonight will be first-time champions. That must be quite exciting.
Yeah, I think the first engineer unit's doing like 30 years as well, so hopefully it'll be on for cool.
And they're a team that you're sort of familiar with, so is that a strength going into tonight?
Yeah, we know about them, but likewise we know about us, so it should be a decent game.
Now, whoever emerges victorious from this match will be first-time champions. So let's join our commentary team for the game, led by BFBS's Kyle Dixon.
Thanks, Kath, and welcome everybody to the 124th Army FA Challenge, or as it's also known, Major Units Final. It is what we're hoping for is a brilliant game of football this evening. Two teams that could be first-time winners this evening. It's a competition with a lot of history. It goes back to 1889. But tonight we could have, we will have a first-time winner. Neither of these teams have won it before. So 23 Para Engineer Regiment have been in the final before. 2 years ago, in 2023, lost to 3 Para in the final, whereas their opponents tonight from 7 Para RHA are new finalists. Bringing in my co-coms, Paul Corrie. You are got your eyes peeled for a couple of players tonight.
Evening, Carl. Thanks for inviting me on. Yeah, absolutely. We've got a few players there in the 2-3 team, which I've seen before and said hello to, and then I've got an eye out for maybe a couple more, and we'll see how the game goes on. Really, this is definitely a great fixture. You know, they play in the same league. The rivals are in it, and yeah, I'm really excited to see how this game gets on.
Well, as we say, both teams have had a good year actually in the Cups, but in particular, I want to point out this 23 Engineer Regiment run that they've had. they've conceded just 2 goals in the 5 games, scored 24. They've certainly taken the cup seriously this year. They're in the final to show for it, and we do know there's a couple of Army boys in there from the Inter-Services campaign, so we know the quality's there.
Yeah, definitely. I think same as the Army team, we'll see a high energy in the centre of the pitch from 2-3, definitely, and no doubt a bit of a fight and a roughness from 7, who will try and stop that sort of threat throughout the game.
Well, John Knighton, who's probably watching in Spain on his annual leave, may remember the first final back in 1889. Hard to say. 2nd Battalion, Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders beat 2nd Battalion South Staffordshire Regiment. This is the 124th final, as we say, and over the last few years we've had some pretty good finals. Going back through the results, 3-0 last year as the Mercian Regiment took the trophy. 2 years ago we mentioned 3 Para beating tonight's finalist from the 2-3 Para Engineers. 4 RLC won in 2022 with a 3-2 win over the Mercians. No competition in 2021, but a 4-0 win for 7 RLC in 2020 is what I've got for the last 5 years. We're expecting goals tonight as the teams make their way onto the field then, led by our all-star Army official team, by the way. It's a really superb Army official team, led in the middle, as I sort my notes out, led in the middle by Sergeant Harry Scott, who began refereeing when he was 14 back in 2007. He's got experience in Army Cups, as we know, FA Cup, FA Youth Cup, Premier League 2, Premier League International Cup, National League. He's currently a Step 4 official, and I know he's involved behind the scenes as well with the Army FA. You can hear a bit of a roar in the crowd. You mentioned to me off camera earlier that there is some maroon support tonight here in Aldershot.
Yeah, there's certainly plenty of them, and it's great to see so many people turn up to come watch this today.
Supporting, of course, 2-3 Para Engineer Regiment then, as the teams line up together. I'm just trying to work out when our VIP team are going to head out onto the pitch and we can get through the team news, or whether we'll get a national anthem. We've been trying to get that answer. Don't have it at the moment. But as the 2 teams line up, we're told, by the way, 7 Para have this Juventus kit. It is styled on Juventus. I don't know what the link is, but they wanted Juventus.
Well, it's certainly a nice strip. I'll give it that. It's I don't know if it's going to change anything for the result or anything, but they could wear whatever they want. But yeah, it's a nice strip.
And it looks like the VIPs are going to head on. So let's take this time then to take a look at the 2 teams, starting with who the Army have put as the home team tonight, 2-3 Para Engineer Regiment. And this is a team, as we say, we know a few of these Army boys from the Inter-Services, the winning Inter-Services team just a few months ago. Franklin Fitzmaurice stands out. Callum Vincent, another one who was part of that team. Liam Silver in the middle. The talent is there. We know they get goals. They are the favourites, you'd argue, tonight.
I think I'd certainly go for 2-3 being the favourites for tonight. There's 1 or 2 players within 7 which we're keeping an eye out for, and they'll know that as well. I think when you look at the league tables as well, because they both play in the same league, so there'll certainly be that sort of fight out there. And as with any of these games, anyone can win it, regardless of what talent you got on the pitch. I think it depends on who wants it most, and this game will certainly prove that.
Well, 2-3 Para Engineer Regiment do have an international goalkeeper, by the way. Stavone Gabriel lines up for St. Lucia in his spare time. I'm not sure he has much, but apparently he has enough time to play for St. Lucia. And that brings us on to then their opponents tonight from 7 Para RHA. And, well, Bryant Polius is a man that immediately jumps off the team sheet. We're told 1 to watch, and again, a St. Lucia international. So they do know each other, the 2 players. So I'd imagine there's a rivalry going on tonight, trying to beat the goalkeeper for sure. We're also told Ryan Lewis, number 9, is a player to watch out for goals. Josh Hanley and Jack Lockwood should provide some midfield steel too. And they're going to need that tonight against this attacking 2-3 team. But if they can hold on and get someone like Polius or Lewis into the game, we could be in for a bit of a thriller. As you mentioned, in the league, it's been tight. We're just having a look through the websites that we can use, and we believe 2 games, 2 3-3 draws.
Yeah, it was. That's what I looked at just before, just to see where we're at with it. But yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about that as the game goes on as well.
National anthem then impeccably done, as you'd expect. It is loud at the military stadium, and there are all eyes on the 124th major units final.
What an occasion it is for these players, you know, just to come out here to get paid, to stand there, to you know, to be proud in front of the national anthem and the crowd that there is today. You know, it's a you know, great achievement for these guys to be here, and I'm sure they're going to take it all in and they're going to enjoy the game.
Well, after a brilliant inter-services campaign for the senior men, which I'm sure you're still celebrating.
Might mention once or twice, you know, tonight, but
you may do. A good campaign for the women in the inter-services. They took the challenge to the RAF. The soldiers' game is at a high right now, and you can see it in the stand. You'll hear it throughout the evening, I'm sure, too.
There's a big push from the Army FA. You can see it from the socials. You know, it was sort of, there's new personnel that have come in, and you know, the leading with it, Izzy, that's in there at the moment, the development officer. You know, she's pushing it, she's leading it, and it's great to see everything that she's sort of putting into it, and then getting the fruition from it as well.
Well, if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, please do get involved where you can. A few comments already coming in, support 423 along the way, so please do let us know who you're supporting and what you expect from this evening. We expect a good game, and as we mentioned, a couple of players that stand out. I'm very interested by Callum Vincent. We spoke a little bit off camera. A player who's got an immense amount of potential and ability, maybe hasn't quite shown it at Army senior level yet, but the talent is there, if you can put it right.
He definitely has it. You know, we see it in training all the time, and you know, he's got the skills. He's got it in his box. He's got it there. You know, he's just taking that moment to step up into different environments, and how does he cope? So personally, I'd be really interested to see how he does tonight. I know he does well at training, and he just couldn't get into that sort of starting lineup for us at the inter-services. But he's certainly on the fringes of it, and he's certainly pushing for that place as well, which is great for the lads that are in the team, because you know, it gives them that sort of, you know, bit of a battle there of who's going to play where and who's going to do what as well.
Thomas Doyle is saying, come on, Matty lad. That could be Matthew Core starting up front, 4-2-3, or starting in the team, number 11, 4-2-3. And as you can hear that noise, that someone's got a drum somewhere. We don't mind that at all. There is a Maroon Army in the stand. As their team should get us underway. Remember, if after 90 minutes it's level, we will have extra time, we will have penalties. There will be a winner tonight, a first-time winner of the Army Major Units Cup.
Yeah, looking forward to this. Obviously, I'll have my coach's head on as well. I'll be having a look to see tactically wise how they set up. Formations, I can see they've got a kick-off routine lined up here, ready to go. And Seven haven't reacted to it at all just yet, so we'll see how it gets on.
Vincent then fires it forward, but it's going to
maybe not that type of route.
Go through to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to come to this corner flag, but it never happened.
That might be the earliest commentator's curse I've ever seen. Sent forward then and headed well. Tomlinson looking to nick in there. And now Polius, one of the players we've picked out as one to watch. For 2-3, it is a second final in, well, 3 years, so to speak. In 2023, they were in the final and didn't manage to pick up that victory, a 3-2 loss, as we mentioned earlier in the programme. How much is that going to weigh on some of these players? Because those players would have played, a few of those players would have played in that final. The core of that team would still be together, I'm sure. And it's about putting it right, getting that redemption, I suppose, tonight. Yeah,
of course it is. But, you know, they've got to look at this game tonight as a, you know, completely, you know, fresh day, fresh game. And for any game, you know, who settles first for this will clearly go on to be a bit more successful than the other. But initial, you know, kick-off there, everyone seems to be a bit nervous. You can see them sort of sat back waiting to soak in a bit of pressure, maybe go on the counter-attack as well.
That's Tomlinson looking to get there, but it'll be quite easily mapped up by the 7 defence, and that's not going to be a handball against Vincent. I'm not quite sure on that one, but plays on, and it'll be a throw-in on the left-hand side. Where Matthew Corr will wait for it. Into the penalty. It needs to be cleared, and it's a bit scrappy in the penalty area, but eventually 7 RHA get the clearance away. That's looking for Vincent, but misplaced. Kept in, though, by Corr. And early on, you're seeing the team that we thought might be the favourites from 2-3 just stamp their authority a little bit on this game. Polius looking to change that. I don't want to put the curse on it, but we expect goals in this game, as we mentioned. 2-3's attacking prowess, but also this final produces goals over the last few years.
I think the cup run that they've had to get here tonight, you know, you can see they've got the goals in them. You know, the league table, when I was looking at there, you can see that there's goals galore as well in there. So, yeah, hopefully, you know, we're surely up for a decent game tonight. And I'll go back to what I said. I think it depends on who settles first and can they play some football rather than it sort of just going up and forward.
Well, the record to beat is most goals in a final, 10 goals in the final, a 5-5 between 4th Line Support RLC and 4th Battalion Royal Irish in 2006. I'm assuming it went to penalties. We couldn't get the winners in the end on that stat, but yeah, 10 goals to beat. We'll take 10 goals tonight, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure everyone watching at home will take 10 goals as well.
And in the risk of putting more of a curse on it, in the current extra time and penalties format, there's never been a 0-0 in this final across 90 minutes and extra time. I'm very aware of what I've done there, so you can get your hate comments in at the end of the game if it ends 0-0. It'll be cleared away, and the ball's going to come back at them, and 2-3 is just dominating the field at the moment.
They still look very cautious at the back, you know, they're not sort of, they've got 3 there at the back, which they've not really left that halfway line either, so they're cautious for the counter-attack. I think that's what they're expecting, and then they're sort of, you know, passing it through and maybe lumping it up to some quick forward play.
Mark Warren is watching on YouTube saying, come on 2-3 from your second home at Wickham Market FC, and it's an interesting side note, Wickham Market FC, to this fixture, because there are a number of these 2-3 players that do play their civilian football for the same team at Wickham Market. So I'd imagine there's big support in that clubhouse this evening. That's one to chase. Good header away, though, from James Thomas. Didn't keep that in, though. It will be a throw-in. And for the first time, 7 Para get forward into the game, 7 RHA. Headed away again by Thomas. I understand at this sort of level that you sort of fill holes, don't you, in the team, but it's interesting to see the position that we're seeing Callum Vincent play, number 6 for 2-3. Usually a winger. I think he's more of an attacking player. He's sitting in the midfield in the centre. Again, I know you fill holes, but
Yeah, he certainly seems to like them positions. You know, I've seen him wanting to go into the 10 role more than anything. I wouldn't have seen him in a 6 role, or as I like to call it a 4 role. But I've never seen him playing that, so it'd be interesting to see. But when he's got the likes of, you know, Fitzy and Silva around him to sort of do that sort of running and to sort of maybe pop balls off to each other, then yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the three of them work together in that midfield. I think at the moment it looks a little bit disfigured, but we'll see how it goes.
Just a slight chance there for Seb Bradford from the free kick. Half a chance, we'll call that, for 7 RHA. That's sent forward and headed away. Vincent couldn't bring it down, and away come the stripy shirts. That's smart play as well to get forward on the right hand side. Couldn't keep it in though. Good Ted Walton. Just over 8 minutes played. Both sides still feeling their way into this final. And Core should keep that in and start to run on the left-hand side. Fancies a run and fancies the pace and gets into the penalty area. The cross is
defending there, yeah.
Blocked away, and we have our first corner, I believe, of the evening.
Some decent defending there, you know, keeping his player and staying on his feet all the way along to stop that cross from coming in, which plenty of players were in the box lining themselves up for.
Yeah, Jack Sims did well to get the block in with number 2 on his back. We're awaiting a corner taker. I think Liam Silver's going to go over and take it from the other side.
Yeah, Liam Silver's heading over that way.
And now he's going to bring the ball back all the way back to the left-hand side for an in-swinging corner instead. And the big men from the back come forward. James Thomas has already won a couple of headers at the back. Will be a threat from this, I assume. So Silver then to take the corner. 2-3 looking for an opening goal here. In towards the penalty area, headed away well. And Polius now on for the run. And Polius will get there again. And he's got pace, Brian Polius, but he couldn't find the pass. Tomlinson now, and a chance, maybe, on the right-hand side. Comes back to take on his man again. Digs out across two, and Liam Silver just nodded it, I think, looking to find Core, and couldn't get it right. Great play on the right-hand side, though.
Yeah, did really well there to get past his man and get that cross in, and great cross, just unfortunate no one could get onto the end of it and get it on target.
Ash Tandy did well in with the number 7 on his back. Challenge in the middle, and now Polius again, and this time he does skip away from his marker, and Brian Polius could be the game changer for his team. Not on that occasion, and it will just be slowed down. Now Fitzmaurice, who scored a really brilliant goal for the Royal Engineers a few weeks ago. He looked to pick out a pass there, and he had to be smart off his feet there, didn't he? The 7 goalkeeper, Rhys Timmins.
It's certainly that over-the-top ball they're looking for.
He did well to come through the midfield. Ted Walton there, but couldn't find that killer pass. Getting a bit scrappy. That goes forward. And there might be a chance here for Elliot Owen. He's into the penalty area. Crowded out well, though, by the defensive work. He's still got it, though, Owen.
Oh,
ball in.
Ball.
In fact, it was Ryan Lewis, one of those players we were mentioned that could be a threat, showing what he can do there. The 9s and the 8s look very similar, I'd say, on that shirt.
I think from that chance there, we can see already end-to-end type stuff. You know, there's no nonsense. Get it up there, you know, get it wide if you can, see if you can get any crosses in and get something on the end of it.
And just a little bit of a warning sign a couple of times for this 2-3 team, not to take this lightly at all. They've had some big results in this competition. We mentioned the goals they've scored, but the actual result, there's an 8-0 win in there, there's 2 5-0 wins, including in the semi-final just a few weeks ago. But it's 7 RHA growing into this game now. Walton to Polius. And a bit of possession as well. It's Matt McCarthy picking the ball up. Slides it through into the middle, and that's good play. Trying to release Lewis was Seb Bradford. And Lewis does well again to win it back. And they're just getting some confidence, I think, here. Growing back into this game again after maybe a bit of a nervous start. New finalists, as we mentioned, never been in the final before. They know what this means to the rest of the unit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, then with such a large crowd here today, you know, they'll feel that pressure to them as well. And, you know, so there's a lot at stake. You know, so it's definitely who settles first. I think back and forth, and we've got another chance now.
Brilliant first touch. But unfortunately, the second
touch wasn't,
didn't match, but a brilliant first touch, I will say, by Core. A few half moments roared on by this Maroon Army. I'd imagine this is going to go towards Seb Bradford's head. Number 10 on his back for 7 RHA. Didn't quite get there, actually. It's Fitzmaurice, who's not the biggest man on the pitch, who wins the header.
You can certainly see the back line talking to the midfield, trying to make sure that he's marked up, and he seems to drop himself into that sort of forward line, which is causing problems. And you know, Callum Vincent's having to drop in there as well, so they're almost having to go 5 at the back just to stop that threat.
Not the best clearance, but it should be dealt with, and is. And Vincent couldn't win the challenge either, and away come 7 RHA, but it's intercepted well at the back. And now Vincent into Silva to Fitzmaurice, the Army trio working together in the midfield. Wide for, I think that's Tandy. Tandy looking to get a cross in, and it's blocked away. Duncan says, come on 2-3, raise it. Lots of support for 2-3 in the comments too. Got a throw in on the right hand side, which Tandy will go over to take. In towards Silver, who nods it on. Tomlinson will get underneath it. Fitzmaurice, good challenge. And Polius will not really be able to get out from that. And a first real touch for Stavone Gabriel in the 2-3 goal. As we mentioned, St. Lucia international. Teammate of Polius internationally, so bragging rights, I'm sure, there too. Chance for Alex Williams to try and get forward, and it will be a 2-3 throw.
It's great to see Polius getting back there and making some defensive tackles as well, so it's not all about attacking form, which is great to see.
Good spin by Tandy. And now Fitzmaurice just gets it stuck under his feet, but Silva will get a shot away, deflected and comfortably kept out by Rhys Timmins. Just a few half chances in the opening 15 minutes. That clear chance hasn't quite come. That's over the midfield this time, but comfortably dealt with, and Vincent will come across to deal with it. But actually, it's a bit scrappy. Vincent again.
Good link up.
Now Core. Certainly seems an outlet on the left-hand side, doesn't he, Matthew Core?
Yeah, he seems to be coming this side quite a little bit as well, and you know, it's
chance for the throw then with Bradley Gent, or Gent. We'll go with Gent. Now Core. Cross is high, and it's good, strong goalkeeping from Rhys Timmins. Now Polius, happy to take on his man and beat him and beat another, but he may be quick, but he's getting nowhere near that. Didn't need to though, because There was a challenge in on him. I think that might be Liam Silver. He's just left the foot in. And it will be a free kick to 7 RHA. Chance then to load the box. And forward comes Matt McCarthy from the back. We already mentioned that Seb Bradford is a threat as well, the number 10 on his back. Not the best free kick though. Didn't make the most of that opportunity, did they? Now Silva. Maybe a little too cute with it. But they do come away. Challenge in there again though, and it's getting a little bit tasty.
That's solid.
It was Bradford, I think, who got the foot in, and just a first flash point for the official to deal with, and he's going to just lay down the law, I think, on Bradford here. He may have been frustrated with how the free kick didn't end up in his favour, didn't end up in his way. And
yeah, no vicious intent in there. You could see, you know, generally a 50-50 by the looks of it. They're all sort of going in to get to the ball, and I think thankfully that, you know, no cards come of it either. But yeah, definitely lay the rules down now, and let's hope for a decent game to carry on.
Harry Scott's cards stay in the pocket for now. Silva into Tomlinson, who's doing well to link up play up front, and now Ash Tandy. Just for a second, it looked like the defence wasn't able to get in there. And away it goes for a throw. The pressure starting to mount from this 2-3 machine. Into the penalty area where Fitzmaurice is challenging. There's a scrappiness to this game at the moment. Neither side keeping hold of it for much of the game. And once again there, Silva intercepts. That's a really classy ball wide for Tandy, who's immediately got two men on him. One of them's Polius, who gets back to win the ball. And immediately he gets it, and you know what he's thinking. He plays a pass. That wasn't what I was expecting, but we'll go with it. And a chance maybe. Hanley bringing it forward. I think it may have been offside if it had got through, but it was headed away.
I think, as we were saying before about, you know, these teams, they play in the same league. You know, they know the players they're coming up against. They're not unfamiliar with them. They'll know the threats. You know, and hopefully they've done their homework on the teams.
Just for a moment, there was an opportunity. More of a clearance in the end from the striker. And that's going to go wide again, and this time it does bounce through. And away goes Walton into the penalty area. Cleared, and Fitzmaurice will try and complete the job, and he wins a free kick. Certainly Ted Walton on that right-hand side is starting to be a pain for the 2-3 defence.
I think that's why they're cautious to put players up. You know, they seem to be hanging back, just waiting for that counter-attack to happen.
Tomlinson coming deep, but not managing to trap that ball and keep it. Lockwood sends it forward, and now it's trying to get through the defence again, but once again it is headed away, and it will be cleared. Just scrappy at the moment.
Not many options there in the centre of the pitch, unfortunately. You know, I think it was just left to that one ball really to play it over the top, which seems to be quite common.
Vincent then. It did come off the number 10, and it will be a 2-3 throw. Which Kent will send forward. Headed down more than away, but it will be another throw. 20 minutes gone at the military stadium. No goals yet. No real clear chances yet. It's just waiting to open up. Core now onto Silva. Cleared away in the midfield though by the number 8 from 7 RHA. It's Elliot Owen who made that clearance. And Core with another opportunity with a throw. Fitzmaurice making a darting run and collecting the ball too. Now Vincent. It'll come back for Fitzmaurice, who will say, why not? Got the talent from that range, we know that. Didn't quite really get the accuracy there.
I'd like to see him put his laces through it rather than a what looked to be a bit of a side kick to it, you know. It's
tried to place it more than power it.
Yeah, definitely.
Now Vincent again in the midfield. Just working it around the back with Alex Williams. And now I think that's Aaron Marley sending it forward. And Tomlinson looking to break, and it might fall now for Silva. And Silva goes for goal. Weaker left foot, I think, and didn't really catch hold of it. He had an option to the left, but you always go for goal there, don't you?
Absolutely. Anything outside that 18-yard box, then if you're not taking a touch and then a shot after it, then yeah, there's something gone wrong.
Jack Wilson says, Jack Lockwood is my hero, playing in the midfield today for 7 RHA with number 14 on his back. In fact, he's playing at centre-back today. We're told he'd be a midfielder. He's slotting in at the back today. Approaching halfway through this first half then. And 2-3 have just edged the attacking chances. But that won't cause any real issue for the goalkeeper. Fired into Fitzmaurice, who did really well to keep control of it and laid out wide for Williams. Fortunately, it will be a throw. Not from there though. Williams then into Fitzmaurice, who's starting to become more of a presence in this game. Tomlinson's crowded out of it and goes forward. Thomas heads back. Now Vincent again, looking for the pace of Ash Tandy on the right-hand side. Headed away by McCarthy, and the pressure continues to grow, this maroon pressure.
Yeah, the past 10 minutes, they've certainly had more of the ball and certainly been more of the threat pushing it forward.
The question is, which keeper is going to be threatened first? Neither has made a significant save yet. Thomas with time to bring it down. It's headed on by Tomlinson, and it will potentially fall, and will for Callum Vincent on the edge of the box. And Vincent still looks to find the back post, and Core wasn't really making that run. And while it was a decent ball by Vincent, I just wonder if a player of his ability needs to be having a go there.
I think he was trying to, it looked like he was concentrating, trying to get onto his better foot as well. I think that might have been the issue.
That was trying to switch the play, but he didn't get that right. Now Tandy against Polius. Polius comes away with it. Just a few passes in midfield. Once again, that's asking a lot of Ryan Lewis. who will battle, but unfortunately for him, will eventually lose that battle. And now Silva. It will be a 7 RHA throw. Well won back there. I think Jerome Murphy made the tackle and won the throw, and now Lockwood. Now Fitzmaurice intercepts Silva. And Silva looks for Core. Keeper come, and the ball bounces away for a goal kick. Certainly this midfield three of Vincent, Silva and Fitzmaurice are growing into the game. Their impact on this game is becoming more and more. Core with a challenge. It will be a 7 RHA throw though. Jack Sims probably breathed a sigh of relief that he didn't lose the ball there, but he takes the throw. Up towards Bradford, and it will fall now. The ball wasn't great from Owen. Now back to Core. Headed on. The full back for Matthew Core, lets it go for the throw.
I think 7 just have to soak this up at the moment and hopefully get something on the counter. They're certainly defending deep. You know, they've got left the one striker up top. You know, it's a big ask if they get it and to get out now nice and quick.
Well, it will go forward by McCarthy, and Lewis will try and make himself a danger, but feeding on a little bit of scraps over the last few minutes.
I think they're just going to struggle a little bit if they continue to sit that far back. You know, they're not just going to be able to get the ball out of their own half.
Polius back to his defensive partner, and he will keep that in, Polius, and this is what they need more of. Polius looking to find a cross. He does find a cross. Goes behind for a goal kick, but brighter sparks on the left-hand side from Bryant Polius. Tandy can try and bring that down. It'll be Owen off Silva for a 7 RHA throw. I think the caginess of this first half an hour has just taken the wind out of this loud crowd as well, who's just gone quiet for a few moments.
I think we need a goal. I think that's what it is. You know, get one goal in, and this crowd's definitely going to be lifted up.
That's looking forward from Polius, but it will be cleared by the central defender. Hanley couldn't spin. Fitzmaurice drives forward. The pass to Core didn't have enough on it, but Silva's following it up here. And Silva has picked out a brilliant pass for Tomlinson, who just couldn't bring it down. What a ball that would have been from Liam Silva. Vincent. Now Williams. Tandy wants it, Tandy gets it. Drives at the defence, but can only get a throw. Unfortunately, Tomlinson's first touch there just couldn't bring down a testing ball control, admittedly, but what a pass from Silva.
Yeah, he's a great player. You know, seen him this year in the inter-services, you know, absolutely rate him. Absolutely, you know, he's a workhorse. He's got the technical ability too. He's just a breath of fresh air he was this season.
Calls come over from the left-hand side to flick it on. It'll fall as far as Silva, who says, why not on the left foot? And that's gone wide. But you keep giving players like Liam Silva and Fitzmaurice space on the edge of the box, and Callum Vincent too. They will punish you at some point.
We've seen it in core games. We've seen it in, you know, the sort of the regimental games. You know, they've definitely got that ability to anything outside that 18. If they get it out of the feet, they're looking for goals straight away.
Well, we mentioned the noise here at the military stadium that has been loud throughout the evening, even if it's slightly quieter at the moment. We expect noise tomorrow evening, that's for sure, inside the Army Boxing Gym in Aldershot for the Army Boxing Final. The latest Forces Fight Night will be live tomorrow evening, right here on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. Chance now for Core. Into Tomlinson, who's probably just sent it the wrong way. Tandy had made a very good run inside. Lewis now to Polius. And that's looking for the number 10, who's made a smart run and a chance maybe. Oh, he's chosen the wrong option. Oh, what a chance for Seb Bradford. And he'll know it. That needed to be a volley.
The opportunity was certainly there. You know, he just needed maybe a bit more awareness of what was around him at the time, and maybe just have that little glance to see where the goalkeeper was stood as well.
Foot in there then. Chance like that don't come around very often in this sort of game where it's cagey. Just wonder if Seb Bradford might regret that one by the end of the game. Comment on YouTube from, where has he gone? Jack Wilson, revealing that Ryan Lewis has recently been on a stag do in Benidorm. So I'm sure he's hoping it'll be party time by the end of the night, but at the moment, he's not really been able to get involved in the game like he'd like to do. That's up and headed away. Fitzmaurice helps it on, and Core now brings it forward. Tomlinson making a run. And it slid through, and I think it came just a tad too late. Disjointed at the moment. We gave them the full promotion as this attacking threat. We haven't quite seen it so far in the first 32 minutes. James says Ash Tandy needs to get the burners on and go on to score the winner. Well, we've got pace on that right hand side, Ash Tandy. Now Vincent, smart touch.
Oh, great feet.
The pass to Core is asking a lot though, but it will force a corner, I think. It does. McCarthy sends it behind, couldn't keep it in. Just a different sort of animal in the midfield there, Callum Vincent, with that touch.
I think this is what we should be seeing throughout the game. We should see the three of them rotating between, you know, different positions. All three of them can play in that 8, that 6, that 10. That all three of them are capable of playing it. You know, Fitzy's more in that 8 and that 6, but you know, definitely the other two should be rotating through.
Well, Silva then to take this corner. Keeper's come out, it's just bounced around. Tomlinson was hunting in there. This will go for Silva to keep in, and well, he nearly played his team into a bit of trouble. And it will be 7 RHA looking to bring it forward. Fortunately, 4-2-3, nothing really came of it. Sent forward again, but Lewis is caught on his heels. And Vincent will look for Tandy. Headed away well by Jerome Murphy, and now Polius. You mentioned about teams doing their homework. You can clearly see with this idea of getting Polius back to help deal with the threat of Tandy on that right-hand side with the pace that he seems to have. That's a ball forward that Jack Sims will not give up on. He's done ever so well, Jack Sims, to keep it in. The passion that you want to see from your team. Didn't look favourite at all to get there at all, Jack Sims, but he did.
Yeah, he did really well.
You never give up on a lost cause, and you never know where it'll end up. They'll come across to take the throw. Up towards Bradford, headed away by Vincent, or more up than anything. It'll bounce in the penalty area. I've got to be smart to clear this here with Liam Silva. Shows a little bit of composure, and does. And it's been flicked on, and maybe Ash Tandy just had a sniff. Had to be cleared by Lockwood.
As I was saying there before, Liam Silva, you know, there he is at the back. He's up top, he's in the back, he's in the middle, he's all over the pitch. He's you know, he's got a great engine on him, and he'll do that for the entire 90 minutes.
Absolutely. Callum Vincent. Now there is Silva again. And away goes Williams on the right-hand side. Terrific pass once again from Silva. Needs a bit of an option, Williams. He'll win a throw. He's just starting to find his range, Liam Silva. Some lovely passes so far in this first half. Probably even the highlight of the half. We're hoping that won't be the case in around 10 minutes' time when the half-time whistle goes. We're hoping for some goals. Callum Vincent gives away the free kick there. One of those things I've heard called like a coach killer. That you just don't need to foul there, do you? But it seems every time the ball goes there, it ends in a free kick.
I think it's just one of them places at the pitch, isn't it, where you're just trying to maybe just kill the game off, just slow it right down, and you know it's if you're going to give away a free kick, then that's the place to do it, isn't it? Keep them right into their corner.
Polius brings it down brilliantly. And now it's sent forward, but there's no runner in a black and white shirt, and that's really easy for the 2-3 defence to deal with.
I think this is something maybe Seven are going to address maybe the second half, or as the game sort of pans out, they're going to have to...
Well, Lewis has done ever so well to continue in it. He's saying no runner, he certainly did better there.
The attacking options, that's what seems to be the issue, I think. But I think as the game goes on, hopefully we can see a difference in there.
That'll go wide for Bradley Gent, who's got time to just bring it forward. Tandy swap wings, by the way. He's on the left-hand side at the moment. Tomlinson couldn't find him. There's no out ball at the moment for 7 RHA.
No, like it says, you know, they're literally, 9 players behind the ball, 10 players behind the ball. You know, they're doing as much as they can to try and, defend it. Once they've got it, they're then looking for that outlet to maybe look for pace and stick it over the top and do it that way.
Vincent trying to win the header. It's flicked on, as Tandy does as well. Silva back in there. Tomlinson just caught a little bit on his heels. Polius will retrieve for 7 RHA and drive inside. Done really well, actually, to link the play there. Now Core trying his luck on the right-hand side, coming inside onto his left. Lockwood intercepts. And now Walton. Back to Lockwood, and it goes forward for Ryan Lewis to chase. He's got to do more of that. Nothing came of it there, though. Vincent. Silva. Williams now. The Maroon Army trying to reward, or trying to get a reward with their noise. That's not going to be intercepted. And now Turner into Vincent, who can spin on the half turn and spread it wide for Tandy. Can Tandy find some sort of delivery here? Back to Vincent. They've just slowed it down a little, but Vincent finds a left-footed cross, and there's no one really at the back post. Fitzmaurice mops it up, and that will be a goal kick.
I think we can definitely see it's coming. The attack after the wave, it's certainly on its way to getting something positive out of this for them.
Bit of a waste from the goal kick, trying something different rather than the long kick, but it didn't pay off there. And
they've done it a couple of times. I've seen them, trying to maybe play out the back, maybe trying to draw them in, and again draw the 2-3 in to see if they can maybe get them over the top. But 2-3 just aren't playing for it. They literally sat back, just waiting for them to come out with the ball.
Now Vincent into Core. Good tackle in there by Murphy, but it's just coming back at them. And that's asking too much of Fitzmaurice. Five minutes or so to go to half-time. Talk about this, trying to fix this forward issue, really, for 7 RHA, where they need an outlet, they need an output. Is Polius maybe the answer, using his pace further up the field? He's shown signs on that left-hand side of of really being a game-changing player.
I think he is a target man, you know, and that's what they're looking for. You know, you see when Seven are getting it, one of the first looks that they're looking for is to get it down to him and to see if they can send him on. But he's so deep at the moment. I think that's the issue, where he's maybe just that little bit too deep. So by the time he's reacting to it, he's not able to be up the pitch to receive it and to get anything on. And you know, being able to sort of win that ball and take 2 or 3 players on, but then 2, 3 are all over that, and as soon as he gets it, he's got at least 2 players on him to stop him from moving forward. So they know the threat, and he's certainly a target man for Seven to try and get something out of this game for them.
Well, it's good pressure from the 7 RHA attackers there. And it will be a foul, though. A little bit too much of pressure from Ted Walton. You like the passion, though? Jack Wilson says it reeks of a Lockwood diagonal with a volley from Lewis top bins. Well, if that happens, we will call back to that comment. Ryan Lewis, I'm sure, will love that to happen. And this fixture, this final, well, it has shown some brilliant goals over the years. Here's Silva. Good charging down by Owen. Stopped Silva in his tracks, but it's gone long forward, and Tomlinson won the header. Hanley in there did get fouled into the handball, so to speak, pushed into it by Vincent. Battle of the sixes. Marcus Clayton says, get Buckley Hill on. I'm just looking at my team sheets. We do have a Bradley Buckley Hill on the bench for 7 RHA. And Lockwood will send this forward. Maybe a Lockwood diagonal. Polius looking to win the header. Bounces the way of the maroon shirts. Polius is back in there trying to cause a problem, as is Owen. And it will be a free kick to 7 RHA, I think. Referee hasn't pointed one way or the other, but that's what I'm getting from the player movement. Owen just taking a few moments to get back to his feet. In fact, he sat back down again, and I think he may need a little bit of treatment.
Well, these last few minutes now before the half-time, they'll be probably looking to, you know, not go in, you know, and, you know, conceded a goal or nothing. So maybe they'll just drag it out a little bit to get in a 0-0, or is they're waiting for this sort of free kick to get something from this and just drag it out a little bit before half-time.
Lockwood then over the free kick again. That's lofted towards the back post. McCarthy's up there, but it will be easily taken, really, by Stavone Gabriel. Catching practice. Now Turner put under pressure immediately. Fitzmaurice round the corner, and it'll come the way of Fitzmaurice again. Silva onto it. Headed way well, and now Polius with a little bit of space, but he goes backwards. And this is what we're talking about, maybe, with Polius getting perhaps the most dangerous player in the most dangerous positions. That's what the second half brings. Nodded round the corner nicely for Jerome Murphy to bring it forward, and that's a run from Seb Bradford that will force Thomas into some defending. Fitzmaurice. Wide for Vincent. He's going to do well to keep it in. He does, and he will release Tandy, and this might be a final opportunity here in this first half. Silva, bit of space, and he'll get a crack away. Well blocked by McCarthy, and that's going to come away with the ball, 7 RHA. And now on for Walton, and can they make a final opportunity? Made a smart run, did Ryan Lewis. Drifted in between two defenders, but they couldn't time the pass, and they went backwards in the end. Now, Walton again. Crowded out of it by Fitzmaurice and Silva. And now Liam Silver again. Left-footed cross was blocked. And that's half-time. No goals, no clear, real chances. Lots of passion, lots of tackles, lots of what-if moments. Neither team have really put it together so far in this first half, but one of them will. We will have a winner this evening, no matter how long it takes. One of these two will be winning the Army Major Units Cup for the very first time this evening. Half-time 0-0, and we've got some content coming your way that people like yourself, Paul, will happily watch again, I'm sure. Highlights from the Army's 2 inter-services games this year, earlier this year, where they won the championship, spoilers. So yeah, we'll have that for you, and we'll be back very shortly with the second half. Hello everyone, and welcome to a brilliant scene to start off a 2025 Inter-Services Football Championship. As you can see, so the match ball is being delivered in special style. This is the Juno helicopter from the #1 Flying Training School at RAF Shawbury, and they are delivering the ball in style for tonight's match between the RAF, the host here in Shrewsbury, and the British Army. A sliding tackle by Shuttleworth will just hold the RAF up for a second, but not for long. And it is Michael Campbell again. Goes up towards Turner, who wins the flick, and there may be a chance. It's just nodded back to him. An important interception, and Bryant with a shot. The Army, well, showing some attacking impetus. That's good. Dawson heads it away. Phillips will get another opportunity. This one's more lofted towards Turner, who's got the header. And that is the closest the Army have come, and that was a brilliant opportunity. A good header from Jamie Turner, inches away from an equaliser. Bit of space for Ryan Fagan, taking on Phil Bright. And Ryan Fagan will get a shot away. Oh, it's a brilliant goal. I'm not sure if it took a deflection or not, but it absolutely bamboozled Ben Binns. And Ryan Fagan has come up with something for the Army to end the first half. It's 1-1 in Shrewsbury. Now Turner slides in Creamer, and Creamer will go for goal. And that is inches away from the Army leading. Dawson looks to whip it in, blocked away, and these two will not be separated. Full time at Shrewsbury. The RAF 1, British Army 1. That was tense. And it's gone in. Right from the corner. I'm not quite sure what happened to Loz McCormick in the Navy goal, but it's gone all the way in. And it's Clay Bryant who is going to be celebrating the Army's opener. Fagan inside onto the left foot will go for goal. Oh. And that is inches from 2-0 to the Army. Woolley. Oh, it's brilliant from Sean Woolley. It's a brilliant goal from the number 11, and the Army have an all-important second goal.
And like we said the first time, Sean is very dangerous in them areas. He's kind of went straight down Loz's side. I think Loz has gambled and took a step early, thinking he was going to go over the top of the wall, and it's a great free kick from Sean Woolley.
And if Sean was on comms right now, I'm pretty sure he'd say it's a goal, Keith, because he has bent it into the top corner. I thought he might have gone near post. There was a big gap there, but he's gone McCormick's side and completely caught out the keeper again. And a super goal, a goal worthy of winning any championship from Sean Woolley there, and it's put the Army in such a strong position with 25 minutes to go. Creamer got there, by the way, and that's got to be 3-0 to the Army. And Jack Wright has well looked at Lawrence McCormick, and the two of them have come together, and Dom Creamer says, I'll nick in there, thank you. And that should be the championship for the Army. A well-drilled Army team who had a one-game plan, and it's paid off. The Army are inter-services champions in 2025, and well-deserved on a brilliant night in Uxbridge for the men in red. As Deck Shuttleworth gets his hands on the trophy, it is time to paint it red. Congratulations to the Army then, inter-services champions for 2025, and they will enjoy this. It's been a long time coming for supporters of the Army. They've had to deal with some disappointing times, but 2025 is their year.
And that one does it again!
Gilmore on the left wing, it's another Army try. A fantastic response from the red shirts. Williams Morris, can she get there? It's a brilliant try.
And here come the Army again. Well, there's a try. And only goes, and it's Josh McNally. And the RAF have got themselves on the ball. And surely that is it. The referee's whistle concludes the inter-services.
It's been an emotional day for each of those players in this tantalising inter-service decider here in Gloucester.
For the Royal Navy, this is the first carrier-led global deployment since 2021. We went on board as HMS Prince of Wales got ready to go.
Students, stand by for rapid decompression in 3, 2, 1, now.
We're told Dragonfire can hit something the size of a £1 coin from a distance of just 1 kilometre.
Now they're focusing on their own drills, building up those soldiering skills ahead of that deployment to Africa.
We're in the front seat of a Jupiter HT1.
The modern helicopter offers a digitalised cockpit with an intelligent monitoring system.
But the recruits are learning from the best, and they will one day soon become the best.
Do tea cakes explode at altitude? I've come to the RAF Centre for Aerospace Medicine to find out.
You're here to learn to lead soldiers, so I think I'm quite excited to get on to the next bit.
Having the opportunity to actually do your job, to actually make a difference, then I don't know what more you could want.
Welcome back to the military stadium here in Aldershot, where it is 0-0 in the Army Major Units Cup final. I can see T3 Engineer on their way back out to the field, so they'll be hoping to put in a performance that will give them a first ever Major Units Cup win this evening. You've seen in that halftime content some of the amazing things we've got coming your way, starting tomorrow evening with the Army Boxing Final, one of the biggest forces fight nights of the year at the Aldershot Gym. We are expecting fireworks that evening, tomorrow evening, live here on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel and across BFBS TV as well for our serving personnel, overseas only. Of course, you also saw what we're in the middle of at the moment with the Inter-Service Rugby Championship. The Navy are the men's champions, but the Army and the RAF have still got a hell of a lot of pride to play for at Kingsholm, and the Women's Championship is finally in the balance. Will it be the Army or the RAF who are champions in the women's tournament? Find that out next weekend. We also had the IS T20, the Inter-Services T20 Championship. The cricket is back. We're hoping to bring some fantastic wickets, some brilliant catches. Who knows, maybe a century or two if the players are on their top form with the Army, the RAF, or last year's champions from the Navy who are victorious at Lords. Paul Corrie's back with me. They've turned your button on. We're good. Paul Corrie, welcome back. We are hoping for a bit of a change in the second half because it's been a little too cagey than what we'd like, and probably what 2-3 would like at the moment.
I think 2-3 will be relatively happy with what they've got. They're going forward. They're creating plenty of chances. Possession seems to be doing quite well. Midfield's doing probably what I expected it to do. There's a bit of rotation in there, so they're taking it in turns. So yeah, 2-3 definitely look the more threatening team. 7, I think as I kept saying, it's just that outlet that's just the lacking. Maybe a bit too much respect, sitting back, waiting for the counter. I'd like to hope maybe they'll just be a little bit more, sort of put a bit more risk into it and send an extra player up there, or give a little bit of an outlet. Maybe move Polyus more central a little bit just to give it that little bit more. But there certainly has to be something, from 7 to change this up a little bit and to stop the threat of 2-3.
I like Adam Leyland's comment on YouTube. He's feeling confident, 5-0, 7 RHA easy, he says. Well, that would be a turn-up in the second half. Big drama, that's for sure. They've seen some brilliant promos of what's coming up from the rugby, the boxing, the cricket. You tried your hand at any of those sports at service level?
I did. No, not service level. I didn't. I took a gap, sort of 5 years of service, and I tried a little bit of rugby at one point, bit of union. Really enjoyed that, which is different. Again, it was just a different sport to look into, and something I was looking to maybe just add to me, me sport portfolio, in a sense of me doing sports. A degree at Ulster University, so I think that's where I was just looking at it for. But yeah, I don't mind a bit of rugby. Cricket isn't my game really. I'm not really a cricket man. But yeah, generally football or rugby I stick to.
So I'm sure you'll be tuning in at Kingsholm if you're not in attendance. The Army can't win the men's championship, but they can win the women's.
I'll certainly keep me out for results, definitely.
Well, we should be getting underway very shortly. The players are out, ready to go. We're waiting on officials at the moment, making sure they get the full 15 minutes at half time.
I was going to say, it's normally them banging on the doors and telling people to come out, but again, it probably just shows how keen these players are to get out and maybe put things right from the first half and get on with it.
I do like the idea that the officials are in there banging on doors and there's nobody in there. A lot of activity at half time in this crowd. There's a food stand in the car park that has had a good long queue, and I'm sure there's been beverages in the bar area too, ready for creating a brilliant atmosphere in this second half. Doesn't look like there's going to be any changes looking at the two teams. At least not in personnel, maybe tactical, maybe. Let us know where you're watching from, by the way. John Knighton is watching from sunny Spain. I've seen the group chat at half-time. He didn't see the original Army Cup final in 1889, but his first one, he says, was 1980, so an Army final connoisseur, we'll call him.
Wow, that's the year I was born, that was 1980. It should show my age there, but yeah, that's some time ago.
I mean, I don't want to say it, but I wasn't. Still no sign of the officials. If you've got the live stream up,
I've got a glimpse of them.
Here we go.
They're coming out now. A fitting tune there for them to be walking towards the pitch as well.
Rich Wyeth's got them sorted here at Aldershot. And some dancing going on in the crowd, including our engineer Scott Richmond. Enjoy the dancing.
You know what? I'm absolutely, blown away really about the amount of people that have turned up today, and yeah, it's great to see so many people turn up at the stadium to watch two units go at it.
Jeff Bates is watching from Lincoln. Darren Smith watching from Midlothian. Harry Cooper is watching, currently offshore, supporting 7 RHA. But you're right, there's A massive turnout in Aldershot. A lot of them maroon, we will say, but there were a few cheers for 7 RHA throughout the evening. And finally, we look set to go for the second half of the 124th Army FA Challenge, or Major Units Cup Final. A pinnacle of an Army season for a lot of these teams. Yes, they have their league, and of course, into service with Army at Army level, but for these unit teams, this is the big one. They've managed to get to the final with a brilliant cup run each. They've got 45 minutes at least to see what they can do to put their name in the record books. That's sent forward. Vincent underneath it now for 2-3. Thomas wide, and it will not be kept in by Ghent.
As you were saying there about the importance of this cup game, you know, you can certainly, you know, I've been at, you know, 7 RLC, 4 RLC, and you know, definitely without a doubt, they're winners of this cup. And you know, to win this, I'm pretty sure they'd take this any day over a league title. You know, that's the pinnacle for football for them at regimental level.
Well, chance maybe, and a shot from range, and a first real shot on target in the game. Good effort from the midfield by, I think that was Hanley. And forces the save from Stavan Gabriel, and an early sighter for 7 RHA. Long ball forward, McCarthy heads away. Only as far as Tandy. Started on the left-hand side, Ash Tandy. Asking a lot of Silva, but Silva will get there, and now Vincent looking to recycle things. Fitzmaurice. Tandy. Was he fouled there? Sims bought the tackle in. It was a good tackle according to the referee. A few comments asking how many are in the ground. Now, I couldn't give you an official attendance number, but I'll say a lot more than anyone was expecting this evening. A good turnout. Chance maybe for Silva, driving into the penalty area. Now Tandy can get there. And it's gone out for a corner, I think. Linesman's pointing for a corner. Referee says goal kick. They're going to go goal kick. Fitzmaurice now in the middle, sending it forward, but Lockwood will be there to clear. Brought down well by Thomas. Good first touch. Good chasing. Good press once again, actually, from this 7 RHA team. Certainly have it in their locker. It will be a 2-3 throw, though.
There just needs to be more of this press. Again, just the frustration of me just watching. I can see, you know, 7 has sat right back again. You know, they defend them well, don't get me wrong, but once they've got it, it's just that release ball and what to do with it next. I think that's the issue that they have.
Well, we've got people watching on YouTube. Amy McElroy says, hi, Daddy, from Abbey. So I'm not quite sure who the daddy in question is, but it's good to see people supporting their parents in this fixture.
That's my daughter.
Oh, yeah. There we go then. Good to see you supporting the Co-Coms. Even better.
Yeah, that's me. Look, I'm off to go see her tomorrow, so I'll be looking forward to seeing her tomorrow with my son as well, Caden. So I'll be able to see both Abby and Caden tomorrow.
Lovely. Well, they get to hear your voice at least this evening. George and Harriet are watching from Derbyshire, supporting 2-3, and their cousin Alex Williams. Corner then 4-2-3 with Silva. Ball in towards the head of Thomas, who flicked it on more than towards goal. Fitzmaurice will be there. Looking for options. Vincent making a run, but it will go inside and cleared. And maybe Polius might be able to break here. And he sent it forward. And away goes the number 9. Ryan Lewis into the penalty area. And has he been chopped down there? Big claims for a penalty. The referee is not interested.
Surprised there, even from the linesman on the opposite side, just to see if there's any reaction from Engr, and absolutely nothing. So must have been a decent tackle.
Polius now. The game's just opening up a bit. And Polius' left-footed ball in is easily dealt with, actually. I just wonder if the fact that the ball, wait a minute, because Cor's in behind.
End to end.
It's really opening up.
Back post.
Cor's got an option with Tandy and he couldn't really
tackle.
bring it down.
Tandy was making that back run post as well, you know, so anything that was going to get flicked across, he was simply going to just tap that in. But what a tackle coming across there to stop the ball from going goal side.
Corner then with Cor over it. Left-footed in swinging. Chance maybe for Silva, headed away though. Polius might be under it.
This is better though. This is what we wanted to see in the first half, wasn't it? You know, end-to-end stuff there from both sides and both chances to both teams.
Fitzmaurice looking to create it in towards Thomas, cleared away by McCarthy, and now Lewis couldn't bring it down. Forward it goes again. This should be Reece Timmins, and is just giving us actually a little bit of a shoulder left in there. The flag's gone up. That would have been a free kick. But in the end, it'll just be a word for Tomlinson. A chance to just talk about that penalty shout. I just wonder if maybe because the ball had got away from the striker, that's why it wasn't given.
I think so, and like you says, you know, looking at the linesman on the far side, there was no indication at all from him either. So, yeah, referee's obviously chasing it to see, and it's nothing from his angle, but yeah, they were unfortunate enough to get something from it. But this is better here now. You know, we can start to hear the crowd sort of getting up for that. You know, 2 chances like that changes everything. You know, from both sides.
Well, they play into each other's game plan a little bit more, don't they? The more 2-3 push on, which they will, the more space for 7 RHA to bound into forward, which Lewis and Polius can do. Polius and Polius has swapped wings, by the way, moving on to the right hand side.
Seen that, yeah.
Looking to maybe get a bit more joy. Not quite sure what's happening. I think we're looking at a substitution quite early in this second half. But a substitution for 7 RHA. And I'm trying to figure out exactly who's going off here. The ball's about to go up.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, 6 minutes in, making a substitute already.
Well, it's going to be Bradley Buckley-Hill coming on, who was called to come on, and it will be the man currently standing over the throw-in, Jerome Murphy, going off, who's looked decent on that left side of the defence, made a couple of decent challenges and managed to keep Tandy relatively quiet, so much that he's had to swap wings. Chance then for Buckley-Hill to come into the game, a man who the YouTube comment reckons is a midfield dynamo, but he's going to be playing left back this evening. And they've just been boxed in a little bit there. 7 RHA, and it'll be a 2-3 throw, which Williams will come across to take. Into Cor. Cleared away though. And Lewis looking to make himself a handful. Good smart turn by Vincent with Polius on his back, but he's away from Vincent and he's wasted the opportunity. I'm not sure if it was a cross or a shot that was mishit, but that's not his best. Chance for Timmins then for the goal kick, just to perhaps slow it down from a defensive point of view, as much as we don't want to see it. Flicked on by Lockwood. Sorry, flicked on by the substitute, it was. And that's brilliant from Silva. And now Cor. He's going to want it on his left foot, we know that. Silva again. This time with the left foot cross. It's a brilliant ball in, and that...
Oh, 2 of them.
Had to be the opening goal, but it wasn't. Tomlinson was the man at the front trying to win the header, and I think he just missed it.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, there was a player behind him. I couldn't see who the player was behind him as well, but there was 2 of them there. You know, the first one was missed, second one potentially, and again, both of them missed it. But what a great ball by Silva again, and he's certainly the main threat for 7 in this, and he's been outstanding as the game's been going on.
Well, 2-3, very close to opening the score there. It was Ash Tandy coming at the back, by the way. And the defender will take this goal kick here, as Lockwood sends it forward. headed away by Williams, or headed down by Williams, and it's well done. And a really good marauding run from the 2-3 centre-back. And that is a high foot. Welcome to the game. To the 7 RHA substitute, Bradley Buckley Hill, who we hope will be okay to continue, but that was a bit of a big knock. Terrific run originally from Aaron Marley, but he got into that area and he definitely felt like a centre-back, didn't he? Yeah. Good to see the substitute back on his feet. And okay to continue. Just rubbing his head a little, Bradley Buckley Hill, but well, if he needed to be brought up to the pace of the game, that'll do it. It's a good flick. Now Lewis driving forward. There's a shout for a handball, but it would have been harsh. Vincent. Good challenging back by Lewis. And Hanley now brings it forward. It's bouncing around in the halfway point of the half. That's a smart ball by Polius. And now Owen comes forward. And Owen wins a corner for 7 RHA. Haven't had many corner opportunities in this game. What can they do from this?
This will be their main chance, I think. You know, they're going forward, like he says, they're just lack of players, obviously running forward, and are they looking to get something from a set piece? So, you know, we'll see now how they set up for this, and is there a routine to it?
And 31 minutes to go in this game. This will be a vital time to take the lead. And it goes short to Polius. A chance maybe to get the ball back in. And it goes, and it's cleared by Thomas. Hanley to try and keep this alive as he drives forward. And completely gets that wrong, and that will go for a throw. Photographer's camera there nearly took a battering. Fitzmaurice trying to gain a few extra yards. He's called back, and it's Williams with a throw then. Cole wanted a push in the back. Bradley Buckley Hill is taking no prisoners. And towards Core again. The touch is good in the end. Ted Walton trying to make the challenge in there for 7 RHA, but not able to. Go again with the throw. Now Silva manages to keep it in, and the cross doesn't stay in. And similar to the first half, after a pretty interesting and exciting and fast-paced start, it's just slowed down a little, and the fans here have felt it again and gone quiet for a moment. Here's Silva. And that's Tandy, but the flag's gone up, and he went a little early there, Ash Tandy. Lockwood to go over and take the free kick too. This game is there for somebody to take and win, to grab and try and get that win.
I think 7 just remains so cautious, you know, they're just like every man behind the ball, you know, just wait for that sort of counter-attack to happen. I think that's just been the game plan from the start, and nothing's changed in the second half. You know, they've done exactly the same again. Get everyone behind it, and then hopefully get something on the break in, just whack it up to that sort of number 9 and hopefully play off him.
That's a good flick. So clever from Silva. Fitzmaurice's pass didn't match it though. Ball bouncing around on the pitch a little bit, not helping his cause. Buckley Hill then to take the throw. In towards Walton, he brings it down well, but Cores are right on his back. And now Fitzmaurice. Will it fall for Tandy? It will. Ash Tandy driving into the penalty area.
Pace.
Chance for Ash Tandy.
Oh,
and he's hit the post.
So unlucky there. Just the turn of pace that he had just to get past his man and get the shot away.
That is the closest we've had to a goal there. Brilliant from Ash Tandy to burst away, and there was no stopping him, and the finish on his weaker foot as well was decent, but couldn't.
Even the build-up play to it through Fitzy finding them balls to get into his feet, and like he says, just that turn of pace to take it past his man to get that shot away was very unlucky not to see that in the back of the net.
Well, 2-3 are knocking on the door now. Corner in from Core. Headed by Vincent, wide. But the longer this stays 0-0, and the longer chances like that don't go in, the more nervous this 2-3 bench are going to get as well. So close to the opener, says Mike Price.
2-3, although they've been really good going forward, they're really cautious at the back as well. You know, I can see for me that even though, you know, 7 are only leaving 1 up top, they're leaving 3 back. So it's you know, it's a 3 versus 1 up there. So they are cautious with it as well.
And a chance again for Tandy. We'll use that lightning pace. Oh. That's what I've got written down in my notes, by the way. Lightning pace, Ash Tandy. Also very popular on TikTok, I'm told.
Okay.
That's headed inside, and it'll be on to Core. And space is opening up for Maroon Shirts to get into. It's a header! And Ash Tandy's had a couple of decent opportunities. That one perhaps the hardest of the lot. Made brilliantly on the right-hand side by Corporal Matthew Core, vice-captain of the team. In his notes, they put 5'2" but a force. Yep, we've certainly seen that. Here's Polius, spreading the play across the other end of the pitch, but it will not really lead to anything. And, well, I'm not sure that the number 7 for 7 RHA had enough legs there to get anywhere near it. That's headed back across. I believe changes are in the offing, is what they say. Can Polius get onto that? Oh, that's the sort of opportunity he's looking for. Didn't get it there, and now Tandy getting back to do some defensive work. Polius right on his back a little too aggressively.
Some great battling there, though, and he's done that most of the game. Polius has. He's been dropping into them sort of deeper positions to help out to win them balls. But like you said, I think, you know, we still need to see something from 7 here. I think they just need to get a grip of the game. You know, maybe slow it down a little bit, and, you know, just trying to settle things, because at the moment 2-3 are definitely on top.
Well, a change then for 2-3, and off comes Jamie Tomlinson, who's certainly been a bit of a threat in terms of his build-up play, at least, with the number 9 on his back. And on comes Buwan Thapa up front. In fact, he's going to go into the left-hand side. It means Ash Tandy takes the central position. Buwan Thapa, British Nepalese footballer. As I nearly dropped my notes everywhere. We're good. Throw in. Sent forward now with Lewis. Thomas heads or clears away. And Thapa's in there, looking to cause something from the bench. Just what he'll have been told. Go and change this game. Silva. Will it bounce towards Core? Battle in there, and that
he's got a throw in from it.
It's going to be a throw, I think. Quite well. I thought maybe it might have been given as a free kick. It wasn't, and The referee is just going to bring Liam Silver over for just a quick word. Perhaps something off the ball happened that we didn't quite see. Throw in then. Fitzmaurice is there again. Can Core get there? He can't. They'll go for another throw. Yep. So Thapper then, a British Nepalese winger. He's also a regular with the Royal Engineers as well. From our notes. Throw in. That's going to bounce into the penalty. You don't want it bouncing there. And Callum Vincent gets a shot away, blocked by Polius. And Vincent again, still going. Lockwood will get there. But Callum Vincent still. In the end, it's going to be a free kick. 65 minutes on the clock. Somehow this is still 0-0. But in the second half, there's certainly been opportunity to change that. The crowd still loud, still cheering on their team, whether it's maroon or black and white stripes. So there's almost a claret and blue to T3, which personally I don't mind. That's fine. That's got stuck in the wind a little bit, that lofty clearance. It'll be a 2-3 throw. Now Ghent over the throw again. In fact, it'll go on to Silver, who's going to go a bit long here, Liam Silver. It's over Vincent's head, headed away well. Thapper challenging Polius, and Polius comes away with the ball, sends it forward. Ghent has to get there and did, with Fitzmaurice in tow. Back to Franklin Fitzmaurice, and good defending by Polius, and it was the number 10 actually in there dropping into midfield for 7 RHA. That's Seb Bradford. Mike Price pointing out the commentator's curse I put on this one at the start. We don't talk about it, Mike. You don't talk about the curse, or else it makes the curse worse.
Well, it might go to that sort of, was it that 10 goals as he went to penalties?
I think that record might be safe tonight.
Think, yeah.
You never know. Vincent looking to challenge it forward, but it's well defended by Owen. And sent forward to Lewis, who brings it down well. Now Walton, inside. Back to Walton, coming onto the right-hand side, but he's caught in possession. Fitzmaurice now. Looking for an option. Thapper makes a run. Fitzmaurice comes inside and keeps hold of it. A really strong sliding tackle in there. It's a good challenge, though, and Lewis comes forward. Well, question marks about that, because it was 2 feet off the floor, and I think sometimes it doesn't matter if you get the ball, but the referee is happy for that to play on, and there will be, I think, 2 changes.
Yeah, I think he's extremely lucky there not to...
7 RHA, 2 changes then. It's Jack Sims coming off. It's, I think, Matt McCarthy coming off. We'll try and get the numbers of the players that have come on very shortly. I think Ben Campbell's come into the centre back position. And it's Ben Meyer on the right hand side for the right back position. Lockwood has to deal with that and aims for the hockey pitch. Doesn't quite get there. So just over 20 minutes to go, 20 minutes to get the winning goal. Kind of feels like it might just be a 1-goal win.
I think if one goes in, and then we might just start to see things opening up a little bit more as a cup final goes. You know, you'll throw the kitchen sink at it.
Thapper, I think, won that header. It will be a goal kick. And 7 RHA are happy to wind this down a little bit. Off goes the man in uniform to get the ball. Buckley Hill has his hands up on the left-hand side, but it will go to the right. It's just got stuck in the air again. They did earlier have Lockwood taking the goal kicks. Clearly, the kicking is not Rhys Timmins' strength. That will go for a corner.
Yeah, I think that's why they switched it, didn't he, to them short goal kicks as well for a little bit, just to see if they could play it out from the back. And you know, they weren't getting any luck with that either. So.
Well, again, Liam Silver goes over. And there are people up from the back. Aaron Marley's one of them. Thapper's in there. Thomas comes forward. Vincent can be a threat. Silver sends it in, right under the keeper. He gets a very important touch on it. Well done, Rhys Timmins.
Needed to get his hands to that then.
Well, if he had a lack of confidence from his kicking, that will give him a beast.
You can see the lads outside the 18-yard as well, sort of lining themselves up for anything that sort of comes out into that area. Then you're certainly getting a shot on target or something placed back into the box.
And it'll be Core this time to go over and take the left-footed corner. They fancy the in-swinging chances here. Core, maybe an opportunity. It's headed towards goal. It'll bounce, and Tandy's there. Core sends it back in. Can Timmins get there? Second attempt he does. Good goalkeeping in the end from Rhys Timmins. Loud support then in the stands. Tandy for Fitzmaurice. Fitzmaurice looking again for Tandy, asking too much. Both sides have rolled the dice, made the changes. Maybe not necessarily in all the forward positions we expected. Thapper the exception. We'll come over to the right-hand side now. And Lockwood will take this for 7 RHA. Who are in their first final. Have stayed in the game. They've had a few chances. Nothing major, but a couple of chances that could have potentially been something. They're hoping to create something here, with Lewis making a good run. The back heel attempt was cut out. It'll be a 7 RHA throw. Which the substitute Buckley Hill comes over to take. Cleared away though by Williams, and Tandy's got pace to chase that. And the substitute, Ben Campbell, comes into the game and has some defending to do and does it well. Support right in front of us for the Maroon Army. Polius gets there though. Can he find Lewis? He can't. But it will come away for Hanley. Who's sort of looking at Lewis there as try and provide an option, but he wasn't able to. It goes forward. Callum Vincent's made a good run, but it's not quite what they wanted as the flag goes up, despite some claims from the sideline who believe it would have been onside. I'm looking for the drum. I can't see it, but I can hear it. Lockwood then with the free kick. Polius has swapped back to this left-hand side for 7 RHA. Up towards Lewis and had to clear again. Lockwood underneath it. Now Fitzmaurice bringing the ball down, which is what 2-3 want to see. Vincent sends it forward, cleared away by Buckley Hill. Strong challenge by Williams, and it will go for a throw. Approaching 15 minutes left of normal time. If it stays 0-0, we will be looking at 30 minutes extra time here in Aldershot. That's headed on by Thapper into Timmins' grateful hands. Fitzmaurice, bit hopeful.
Oh, I thought the bounce was going to catch him out then.
Questionable from Timmins, that. Now Core. Williams. Thapper on the right-hand side, couldn't bring it into control.
Slightly better football, but again, the sort of, you know, maybe the technical ability there to just let it run under his feet.
Can Thapper intercept there? He does. Fitzmaurice now on to Tandy. Really good challenge by Lockwood. Fitzmaurice heads it on. Bouncing in the penalty area. It's still there with Fitzmaurice. Looking for an option. Thapper is that man. The ball in wasn't good enough though, really. That's asking a lot. Vincent was offside. And, well, Hanley's gone down now and he's waving quite frantically. So he'll need treatment.
Seeing Vinny more push into that sort of forward line, maybe switched round into that sort of 10 position, which I was mentioning before, and then leaving sort of Silver to sort of take that rest a little bit with Fitzy as well.
Yeah, Callum Vincent moving forward into the 10 role, as you say. Maybe some tired legs from Liam Silver saying, let me just drop back.
He does it, you can see, and it's happened throughout this game. He'll sort of take that rest into that sort of, you know, hold a midfield role, take a rest for a little bit, and then there'll be a rotation. So, yeah, we'll probably see more of Liam, no doubt, as the game continues. But for now, Vinny's up there, and he's showing what he can do in that number 10 role.
And 7 RHA preparing another change. It's going to be Elliot Owen coming off, the number 8, who's going to take his time. Applause from the bench. And I think it's going to be Paul Anglesey coming on. Warrant off to Class 2, Paul Anglesey. Support from the stands clearly supporting 2-3, wanting the game to hurry up a little bit. There's another change as well, actually. No, in fact, it was the same change. The same board went up twice. There will be a change, though, actually, for 2-3, and it's Fitzmaurice who goes off. That's a good header on. Lockwood is obviously playing everyone onside. Sent forward. Now Vincent in a more attacking position, as you mentioned. Driving inside, left-footed ball towards the back post. Core will try and keep it alive. Headed right across the box, and, well, Core couldn't do much more there, could he? But
I think he was open for Ash Tandy to be on the end of it, wasn't he? That's what it was looking for, but...
the prowler in the box wasn't there. I think it's John Stone, by the way, who's come into the midfield for 2-3.
Yeah, I'm surprised they've taken Fitzy off, but there'll be a reason for it, no doubt.
Well, he's a man who's playing a lot of football, I'm sure, at this stage of the season.
And I suppose, you know, given a chance to other players to get on the pitch as well for this event. So.
Into the Woolwich Cup final as well is Franklin Fitzmaurice with the Engineers. Williams then sends this forward with a throw. Thapper, well, he did get his head on it. Maybe not the way he wanted to. Throw in then sent forward. Thapper heads it on again, and Tandy will chase. and harass and win the ball.
Oh, done really well there.
And he's gone down. All eyes on the referee, who is not interested. Now, we didn't really have the best view of it from here, but
I'd love to see a replay of it. It looked close, definitely. You know, it was, and again, no reaction from the linesman. So, you know, it's even if the ref did glance towards the linesman, there was nothing sort of flagged from there. So he's probably trusted his linesman.
Polius keeps it in. Big appeal, though, on the field, as usually he's telling. Vincent to win the header on towards Core, but he's headed away well. And now on to Core again. Core's ball in. Tandy looking to get there. Timmins does just enough. Really good goalkeeping. Got to be brave in there, Reece Timmins, and he was. Core's getting back in there well, though.
Oh, won the ball back well there, yeah.
Pirouette in there too. Seven RHA looking to force it forward with their number 9, and they get a throw. Good work from Ryan Lewis. Now Lockwood, time to bring it down. That stayed in. Ben Myatt does enough, and it goes wide now to Walton. Ball in is cleared. Walton get there again. He won't, and it will be Gent to mop it up. Buckley Hill. I was just about to say a nice piece of possession for 7RHA, but it's lofted forward and back into the possession of their opponents. That was a late challenge on Williams as well. Shouts for a card. We haven't seen a card. I don't think we've had enough of a challenge really to have a card in this game. Few.
There's been a couple, hasn't, like says that two-footed leap, you know, that could have easily been given, and you know, yeah, there's probably a couple of sort of pushes in the back that might have been given, you know, so there's been maybe a couple, but he's obviously trying to let the game flow.
Thapper more up than across. Wins the second one as well, though. Good strength from Thapper. Here comes 7RHA with a late challenge as well.
Oh, here we go.
And that one felt like a card because that stopped an attacking position, and it will be a card, I believe.
Yeah, he pulled out of his back pocket. He's definitely got a yellow here.
Yep, that's got to be the substitute. It's just come on, John Stone, finding his way into the book. Well, the fans to our right supporting 2-3 called for a card. That backfired. But a chance maybe for Jack Lockwood to load the box here. He has Bradford to aim for. He has Ben Campbell off the bench to aim for, number 4. Hanley is a bit of a physical presence as well. Polius is right on the touchline. He should not, where I expected him to be.
He's not really done much this half, Polius has.
Lockwood into the penalty area. The keeper comes, doesn't get there. Maybe a chance. No, it was Paul Anglesey's first real introduction into the game.
Yeah, still waiting for Polius to get involved in this game at the second half. I've not really seen much of him, and I know he's not had many chances, but yeah, you know, his feet on the chalk line there. If a ball for a free kick, he should have been in and around the box, definitely.
I want to give credit to 2-3 for keeping him quiet. They know he's a danger man, but at the same time, it feels like we haven't seen him in the positions that you want to see him in. Chance now for Tandy, looking for Thapper. Tandy's just dropped into the midfield and Vincent's gone up front, I think. Although they are swapping back now. It'll be Vincent then over this free kick. Just getting in the right position, waiting for the movement. Into the penalty area it goes. Nodded down, Polius will retrieve, and Polius will stretch his legs. And should have continued stretching his legs. The ball bounced awkwardly as he hit it, and it's gone out of play.
He's got the pace. I'm surprised he just didn't just knock it forward and just try to just drag it down that line a little bit further.
Some tired legs out there, says Darren Smith. We are getting to that point of the game, but it's only going to get tighter if it stays like this. John Stone bringing it down, but tackled well by the other substitute there. I think that's Robert Simpkins in the midfield. It might have come on, by the way. In fact, no, it was Paul Anglesey. Rob Grover says 2-3 are missing their number one goal scorer, who's currently in Jordan. Well, I'm sure he's watching on, hoping he could have been on the field. He's not. Maybe it's 7 RHA looking to get there. Anglesey couldn't bring it down really, but they'll play on in towards Anglesey again. He'll throw himself about off the bench. Thomas does well though. Now Ghent, challenged by Walton, and Ghent wins the throw. The drum is not stopping though. The passion in the stands isn't stopping. Will it be met by some late drama in Aldershot? Sent forward by Thomas, that's out of play. And it just feels like both sides are hit that point in the game. They know the clock's running down. Here at the Military Stadium is a very visible clock for these players, and maybe neither wants to lose this.
I think that's what it is, yeah. That's exactly what it is, isn't it? Neither want to lose it, so it's run down the clock if needed. Get a reset in a second and maybe change something just to throw something at it and see if you can nick it and get something from there, because, you know, regardless of what happens here, you know, that one goal and the cup's yours.
Support on YouTube for Polius to be the man to change it, to maybe win the game. That's smart though. Vincent and Williams will take over. It will bounce, but well defended, and it's a substitute, number 4 on his back for 7 RHA. And that's a poor pass.
Could have squared it maybe.
Bailed out by Rhys Timmins, really. Good save by the goalkeeper. And that would have been the worst way to lose a cup final if you're the substitute, Ben Campbell. Another player down, perhaps cramp starting to...
yeah, definitely, it's cramp.
Eke in. I think it's not Walton, it is... perhaps one of the substitutes. In fact, it's Lockwood, who's certainly been a figure for 7 RHA, so fair enough to have a bit of cramp at this stage. The goalkeeper's going to take this free kick then, with Lockwood also struggling with cramp. Goes forward, flicked on, and on again. And maybe a bit of space for Polius to run into. Well defended by Williams, who, it should be said, has kept Polius quiet. That was a late challenge on Thapper.
I think the formation as well from 2-3 has kept Polius quiet. You know, they're playing with wing back, so Polius is conscious of the fact that if that wing back goes, he has to go to defend it. So and that's sort of dragging him back and pinning him in the wrong half of the pitch.
And Bradley Buckley-Hill gets a book in for that one, evens it up. Similar challenge to the one that saw John Stone get a booking earlier in the game. We're approaching the 90th minute then. And can Callum Vincent and 2-3 get some drama in Aldershot? It's lofted into the penalty area. It bounces the way of Core, who drives and wins a corner. Liam Silver goes across to take it. The drum continues to pound. The pressure mounting as we head into the final few minutes. Silver's corner, headed. Couldn't get a clean header on it, and it's a goal kick. Darren Smith on YouTube says 7 RHA have been extremely defensive, understandable, but 2-3 Engineer have had enough chances. They've certainly had some decent chances in the second half. But wasn't able to put it away. They've got 3 more minutes in normal time, both of these teams, to get a winner.
You can't take it away from both teams. They have defended well, both of them. You know, 2-3 have done exactly the same, made sure that they've not been, you know, sucked into leaving even a 2v1 at the back. You know, it's always been that 3v1 at the back, protecting that. And, you know, like we said throughout the game, you know, 7 have pretty much spent most of the time in their half of the pitch.
Well, we talk quite a lot about inter-service football being a different style of game. Cup final football, again, is its own sort of genre, isn't it? You have to stay in the game. You can lose it in a moment, which we nearly saw a moment ago. That's what both teams are doing.
Yeah, very similar to the inter-services. You know, each game's a cup final. You know, they're like no other games. You lose that game and that's it, done for the inter-services. You know, with this, exactly similar type stuff. You know, pride's on the line. They all want to win it, and yeah, you just got to be cautious with it. You know, you're not going to...
Calls ball in. Thapper's header. Good tackle, good save by Timmins.
You're not going to see too much risk. Yeah, again, Polish just that touch out of his feet. He could have just took it down that line there. There was nothing further on.
Seems to be going backwards more than forwards. Can he win it here, Polius? Nope. Collects it now, though. And this time tried to go forward. Good challenge by Williams, but it's going to be a 7 RHA throw. This time it will be 2-3 who get the throw, and with the walking pace, I sense both teams are going to settle for 30 more. Unless Watkins can, Lewis can chase that down. Polius trying to cause a problem, but he's caused too much of a problem. It's a free kick. And Angle sees, well, gamesmanship from the substitute. And Williams is going to have to go all the way back.
Yeah, run the clock down now, isn't it? Just see this out and get a bit of a breather and take it from there.
Well, this is going to go towards the penalty area. Bounces. And that is the end of the 90 minutes. And it stays 0-0. It's tense, it's well defended. There's a few decent chances in there, but neither team has done enough to win it in 90 minutes. We are going to be back for 30 more. Now, we hadn't fully planned for 30 more minutes, but I think what we're going to do is give you a little taster of what's to come on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel with some of the upcoming live sporting events.
And that one does it again!
Gilmore on the left wing. It's another Army try. A fantastic response from the red shirts. Williams Morris, can she get there? It's a brilliant try.
And here come the Army again. Well, there's a try. Well, Army goes, and it's Josh McNally. And the RAF have got themselves on the ball. And surely that is it. The referee's whistle concludes the inter-services
It's been an emotional day for each of those players in this tantalising inter-service decider here in Gloucester.
Well, welcome back to the Military Stadium, where we are approaching extra time in the 124th Army FA Challenge or Major Units Cup Final. You saw some action from you saw a promo for tomorrow's live boxing, and we're hoping for a knockout punch in extra time. We didn't get it in 90 minutes. It was closer in that second half, though, Paul, and there was some real chances, particularly for 2-3.
Yeah, I think we started the game hoping for goals from both teams, and we just didn't see it. I think, we've seen 7, defend for the life basically in the trenches and not allowing 2-3 to come onto them. 2-3 wave after wave trying to get something, but defending really well. And then countering that as well, we got a couple of chances back and forth, and again, even 2-3 there, making sure that they're not leaving any, too many gaps at the back to allow 7 to exploit. But yeah, it's they've cancelled each other out pretty much, haven't they, really?
Yeah, and well, I'm very aware that our director is blaming me for this, because I did say there'd be goals at the start. Yep, fair enough. Fair enough. The stats sometimes lie. But we look ready to go for this second half. And no changes at this particular break. We saw enough in the second half, I guess, to get you through towards extra time. Ash Tandy will be leading the line for 2-3. He's certainly one who will feel he could have won the game in the 90 minutes. On the other side of that, so far, he's played every minute up front for 7 RHA. Has Ryan Lewis.
I could see Polius getting a bit of a rub down there just before, stepping on and just stretching his legs a little bit. So cramp, no doubt, will be starting to set in as well, which will might be a huge difference to both teams here.
Well, as space opens up, pacey players like Polius, Ash Tandy, could provide a spark. The closest we came was Ash Tandy's burst of pace and strike that hit the post. A few moments before that, it was a missed header by Tomlinson. What does the second half bring? And the full attacking press comes the way with Vincent driving forward.
Another kick-off routine.
Another kick-off routine that sadly didn't lead to anything. Sent forward by Williams. Thapper touches it nicely. Now Stone. Williams again. Into Silva. Silva drives. Bit of urgency. In towards Thapper, who's got a bit of pace about him, and Timmins does well. And as much as we can praise 7 RHA's defending, that's not great though. They do manage to mop it up. As much as we can praise their defending in this game, quite rightfully so, if you're 2-3, you are wary of penalties at this point, because they have been the stronger team, particularly in that second half, and they will think they need to go and win this in this 30 minutes now.
I think that's what we'll see. I think as the game goes on, more risk could be taken and try and end this before the penalties. It can go either way, can't it? And that's the worrying part for penalties. No matter what happens, nerves settle in, and you can't guarantee nothing on pens, but get that one goal, that's your guarantee.
Walton's pass was a bit late for Lewis, and it goes away for a goal kick. Darren Smith says 2-3 look fitter in general. I've got a feeling they'll score a couple in extra time. Well, we'll see if his prediction proves to be true. Now Silva sends it forward, headed away well. And now Polius, can he be the difference? Well, more attacking than we've seen in that second half, but ultimately led to nothing. Crowded out and well defended. Vincent now. And Turner spreads it wide where Core has a bit more space to work with. On to Gent, who will drive forward, but it's going to be Lockwood at the second attempt to clear. Vincent spreads the play. Williams into Silva, who drops a shoulder and gets caught in the back of the leg by the number 6. Well, the last time a Army Major Units final finished 0-0 across 90 minutes and extra time was when it was in an old format. You had replays back then, and 1991 was the last time that we saw a replay from a 0-0 draw. There have been draws that have gone to penalties in that time, but they were score draws. Can Vincent break this deadlock that seems tough and unbreakable? A free kick in. Headed towards goal weakly though, and well, it's more nodded on than headed towards goal, and Timmins is there. And the kick goes long. Headed by Gent. Tandy's waiting for the scraps. Anglesey sends it forward. Gent again. Core now. Anglesey underneath it. Stone does well. And now Lockwood sends it forward. And maybe a chance for Lewis, who will hit it anyway. And if there's not a moment that summed up his game, that's it, isn't it? Because he's not had a whole lot to work with, he's just gone for it there because he's got nothing else.
There's no one there, is there? That's what I'm saying. There's no one running into that back post, and they're the runs. I dread to say that's what the runs I want to see Polius do. I want to see get into them boxes, get into them positions, and he'll be able to see that ball being played on the right-hand side, and he should be known to get into them positions just in case he can pick something up. But I think he's carrying a knock.
Yeah, he does look to be nursing something on his left leg. Thapper. Polius forcing the ball backwards. It will be a 7 RHA throw. Now, unfortunately, the clock that we're working on in the stadium doesn't go past 90 minutes. So we are going with the clock that we've got on the broadcast for you. So we'll do our best to try and, in terms of the commentary, stay as close as we can. Someone have a word. Core underneath this now to try and bring the Maroon squad forward. That's strong from Core.
He's done well, hasn't he? I've been impressed by Core. You know, you can see he's battling for everything. He's not giving up, and you could see it there. And you know, if he does lose the ball, he's straight back on his feet, trying to win it and fight for it back.
Certainly got an engine in this first half of extra time still. Throwing goes forward towards Anglesey. Silva eventually should deal with it. And
tardy feet.
Really does well, doesn't he?
And a ball as well to match.
The ball forward chance maybe.
He just couldn't get out of his feet to get that strike away either. That would have been a brilliant play there by Silva.
In fact, we say Silva, he's got 18 on his back. Now, whether he's changed his shirt or whether it is Samuel Hunt remains to be seen. As someone who worked with him quite closely in the inter-services, he did look like Liam Silva. But he does have 18 on his back, so there may have been a change and we weren't aware of. Polius now on to Lewis. Spins and well, Ryan Lewis there. But the ball from Walton didn't match the spin.
The only thing I can think of, blood on his shirt of some sort, and they've had to swap shirts, but yeah, it's
definitely Liam Silver.
It definitely looks like Liam Silver, yeah. Looks like him, moves like him, I'd say it.
Here he is again, Silver. We're going to go with it. Sliding the ball to Thapper, who's got a bit of space, and it's slid in. Chance. It's back to Thapper. Now Core. Can Tandy make something of it? Ash Tandy's shot. Corner. I wonder if Thapper maybe could have had a go earlier. And it is going to be Silver to come across and take it. And with how tired he is running, I do not think that's a substitute that's just come on. I'll say that much. So, unfortunately for fans of Samuel Hunt, his shirt has been given away. Silver then, with the corner. Ball in and Timmins has palmed it clear. Vincent looking to keep it alive, but Polius might have space to come into here. And I think Lewis was off, he was.
Yeah, miles offside.
And I just wonder if maybe that knock that we've seemed to have discovered in extra time with Polius, that maybe that's why things aren't going his way. Maybe that's why he's not showing off his full physical capabilities and that he's looking for a pass more often.
He's certainly getting a rub down before the whistle went to kick back off again.
Kent then with the throw. Silver made an option, as does Tandy, but it will go into the penalty area where Lockwood clears. Silver. Good strong challenge in there by Hanley. It's back to him. It'll be a 2-3 throw, despite the frustrations on the sideline. Smart by Core, really good play. Ball in was decent too, had to be defended and was by Campbell. Flicked on, cleared by Anglesey. Core, it's just coming back at 7 RHA at the moment. That might give them an opportunity to clear it properly. It won't. It's Silver. And that'll be a free kick.
Dangerous position as well.
Certainly is when you've got men like Callum Vincent on the field who we know can score from here. Remember him scoring a really good free kick for the Army under-23s a few years ago in the inter-services.
Can he replicate a Sean Woolley special?
It is Sean Woolley range. It is Sean Woolley range, I'll say that much. It is Sean Woolley range. From the bits I know of Sean, though, I'd imagine he is a bit like, yeah, but that's mine. What can Callum Vincent do in the Army Cup final for 2-3? Vincent gone low. It's deflected. It's a chance. It's in.
What a goal.
And finally that deadlock is broken. Finally we have a goal.
I don't think anyone was expecting a low kick, like whether it was a missed kick or what. I'll have to see the replay, but no one is expecting almost a pass into the box rather than an actual shot.
It is the scrappiest of opening goals, but they all count. I'm trying to get an eye on who might have got the goal. I think it might be one of the players from the back, you know. I think it's James Thomas up from the back, who's just toe poked it past the goalkeeper. And while the scoreboard that you may see in the background on the screen has finally now been updated, it's 1-0. Yeah, have it confirmed. It is James Thomas who's got the goal, number 5 for 2-3. And now, well, 7 RHA have got to go for it.
Now we've got a game on our hands, you know. This is it, you know. Let the reins off and let them go for it. That's what I say.
Score to 2-3 Engr Regiment in the 103rd minute. Number 5, James Thomas.
Headed away. Ball in. What can 7 do here? It's got to be claimed really well by Stefan Gabriel, sorry. Well, the drum's gone quiet, which the 2-3 fans are pleased with. It looks like the drum may have come from 7 RHA. In fact, there it is, it's back. It might be 2-3s. 7 RHA come forward though with Hanley. That'll be a throw into the attacking team. As we approach the end of the first half of extra time, and it is 1-0. So 7 RHA have got work to do, or they will end their first final in defeat. Bit of cramp, I think, for Walton. Just off camera at the moment. It's nice to see that even the drums got support in the stands. Long throw in then. Headed away and away again. Lockwood looking to keep it alive and goes for goal, and well, wasn't going to cause much of an issue with that, and that's the end of the first half of extra time, and the goal has gone in for 2-3. That's the goal they needed. It was scrappy, but they will not care. As it stands, James Thomas, this goal from James Thomas after Callum Vincent's daisy cutter, let's say. I'm not sure he hit it how he expected to, but Thomas was the quickest to react, poked it into the corner. That's the goal as it stands that will mean 2-3 will be cup winners for the very first time. Lot to unpack.
just a little bit. This is it now, isn't it? You know, I can see, you know, 7 RHA sort of, you know, hands around each other there, sort of trying to gear each other up. That they'll know this will be the last 30 minutes for them to do something about it. They've, the trophy's been brought out as well. That's in the stands now, getting all set up. So, you know, everything's out. Everything's to play for. They've, you know, getting beat 1-0, getting beat 2-0. Who cares? You know, you've got to do something. You've got to change something. You've got to throw something at it. There's no doubt about that.
Well, while they quickly have a drinks break, let's have a 30 seconds. Have a look what's coming tomorrow in the Army boxing final. Well, welcome back. 15 more minutes to go. At least. Let's not rule out penalties at this stage, but as it stands, 2-3. We'll be getting the hands on what you just saw there, or what you may see now, the Cup. The Major Units Cup. If it stays like this, what can 7 RHA do about it? They kick off the second half, hoping to change things, and will have to be more attacking than we've seen so far. Hanley's flick on will be gratefully grabbed by the goalkeeper. Time to see what Lewis and Polius, amongst others, have got in their locker to save their unit from final defeat. They've battled hard over the first 105 minutes. But these 15 minutes is really where it's going to count now. And for the first time in the game, we're seeing 2-3 take their time. And in fact, it is a corner, by the way, which Silva will take. A lot less attacking presence in the penalty area, but enough maybe to cause a problem. I think Turner's up there again, looking for a second. Silva's corner. Whipped in. And headed. And I think the keeper got a clip on it. Couldn't quite see from our position, but Rhys Timmins...
Like it certainly looked like he got a hand to it.
Give him all the credit in the world. Timmins has done well in that goalkeeping position. He may have had issues potentially with his kicking, but as a shot stopper and an aerial presence, he's done well.
And then 7 defensively, I could see there's not as many players in the box, and probably got 3 players up this way.
Williams takes his time with the throw and sends it in towards the attacking talent in the penalty area. Cleared away though, and Walton will look to try and drive the black and white shirts forward. Lockwood just sends it forward. Lewis looking to challenge. They'll bounce and bounce and bounce again, but the pressure is dealt with well actually, and Polius now. Again, looks for the pass, and there wasn't really a pass on, but does force a throw. Just that moment of indecision at the back there between Stavon Gabriel in the goal and Aaron Marley at the back. To throw then. We are going to see a 7 RLC change, by the way. I think Walton's gone off, and we will hopefully get the number of the man who's come on very shortly, but he's certainly going to provide an aerial threat, I think. Then towards Anglesey, flicked on. Lewis flicks on as well. And there's the substitute. He nearly had an immediate impact. I want to say that might be Robert Simpkins. Approaching the final 10 minutes of extra time. Gabriel takes his time with the goal kick. Sends it forward, but Polius underneath it. And international teammates couldn't help themselves there. The clearance nearly took out some VIPs. Not a good idea. Buckley Hill with the throw then. Diving header away by Thapper. And now the pace comes forward with Kaur. And can they seal this on the break now with Kaur? In towards Tandy. Tandy onto his right foot. Ash Tandy's shot is blocked.
Kaur maybe should have been a bit selfish there, maybe in taking it himself.
Here he goes again, Kaur. His cross looked like tired legs there. But it's still on, and the shot from range. It's over the bar by Silva. That's the threat, isn't it, that 7 RHA have to deal with, because they will have to send men forward, but that will give opportunities on the break.
I was literally just thinking it a second ago, the fact that you can see 7 now starting to push players forward, but as you say, yeah, that's the threat, and I suppose that's what they've had all game. They knew it, and that's why they've been sat so deep.
It's up towards Lewis. That was handball by Anglesey. Had to be. Chance again for 2-3 just to wind this clock down. Vincent will claim the assist. That's smart, but the pass wasn't. Williams. Silva flicks it on. Vincent. It was a really good run made by Core, but he couldn't find him. Vincent's still there, by the way. In the end, Campbell gets a challenge in, and that was
a bit late.
The whistle had gone a long time ago. From Campbell, well committed. Well, the run will go on. In this current format with extra time and penalties, there's never been a 0-0 across extra time. We've pushed it, but the run will go on. I promised you a goal, you know? Lockwood then will look to aim to this defensive line, see what breaches he can find. Doesn't really connect how he wants, and Thapper should have been able to clear. We'll have a second opportunity now. Away it goes, and Ash Tandy, I think, would have been onside there, but was unable to bring it down. Kick out of the hands. Anglesey looking to get there. Got to go forward, it does. And it's forced behind for a throw-in. Good pressure from 7 RHA. Their cup hopes dwindling at this point. But that was smart by Simpkins to force the throw. And it will be, I think, Ben Myatt to long throw, get this in. Headed away. And now Core breaks, and he's still got the energy, and he's still got the pace, and they will break with Ash Tandy now. They've got men bringing it forward, but Ash Tandy will drive into the penalty area on a plate for Vincent, and that is the cup for 2-3. They've gone the hard way round, but they have taken a 2-0 lead into the game. A couple of substitutes have ran onto the field in celebration, and I think we'll be getting booked for it, because obviously that's not allowed. But it doesn't matter. 2-3 won't care. For 7 RHA, it's miracle time if they're to get back into this now.
It was mentioned before, wasn't it, by someone in the comments saying about the fitness. You could see it on that counter-attack, you know. It was a poor throw-in to start with, and then the counter-attack just said it all, really, as the ball started to go forward. And yeah, like we had 3-4 players in support with that, all looking to get on the end of it. And yeah, 7 RHA didn't stand a chance, really.
Well, I did promise you goals, everybody. Goals there now. Lockwood sends this forward. 7 RHA have really battled hard, and you have to give them a lot of credit for the defensive work they've put in and the counter-attacking ability they've shown. But the truth is, on this day, 2-3 have been the better team and have a 2-0 lead to show for it.
They were favourites going into this game, you know, with the plays that they've got within the side, and, you know, looking at the pathways to get to the final, you know, they were certainly favourites for that. And they probably set up, and throughout the game, you know, they've shown it, really. They're wave after wave, sort of trying to attack it. You know, 7 have done really well to try and, you know, defend against that, but unfortunately, as the game's got on, tired legs have not been just able to do it. And what 7 were trying to do, doing that counter attack, it just shows, you know, 2-3 turn counter attacks into goals.
Well, Silva then driving it forward again. Here's Thapper. In fact, it was Stone driving it forward. Good challenge in there. Now Vincent again. On for Stone.
Oh, kept it in.
Well, it looked like he kept it in for a minute. The linesman wasn't sure and looked at the referee. Or assistant referee, as we should call him nowadays. Long clearance forward. It will fall for Lewis, who has pushed and has pressed and has ran. You can't fault the fact that he has ran for the full 115 minutes so far. And he's taking the long throw himself. Headed by Vincent, headed by Marley. And cleared. He'll have another go at it, will the centre forward. And in it goes. Desperation time. Polius's volley, well, sums up that, doesn't it? And the goalkeeper doesn't really get near it. Eventually he does, Gabriel. The last thing 2-3 will want to do is beckon 7 RHA back into the game with a mistake. Polius. What can he do with this? It's a frustrated figure, really. And yes, there may be questions about his fitness at the moment, but certainly a player that we expected a bit more from tonight. He certainly has the talent to do a bit more than he's been able to do in this final. That's a two-handed push in the back that has gone away. That's a foul this time. Thapper with a foul. Chance to load the box and maybe, just maybe, cause some scare on the 2-3 bench. Lockwood over it. It goes short and into the box from Hanley. Headed away. Thapper now. Lockwood back in there. And that should go away for a goal kick, and it does. I can see Steve Clout in the Army team behind the scenes getting the trophy ready in front of us. The runners-up and winners' medals are being prepared. Headed on. Silva was the man intercepting there, but 7 RHA, they're pushing, but the time is against them as we head into the final minute or so. It goes forward again. Any word on a potential man of the match?
I'd be biased towards Liam Silva myself. I think, you know, he's been in the middle there causing all kinds of issues. You know, Callum Vincent's done well as well at times, and you know, was rewarded with his goal as well. But yeah, it'd certainly be somebody within the middle of the park for me, I think.
The drum's still going. That'll be cleared, and I think Stone will try and bring it forward. Cut off though, and now Hanley. Good smart run by Hanley, but he's looking for options and didn't have one. Stone got back there well, and that'll be a free kick. And they are that close now, 2-3, to a first ever Army Major Units win. And for anyone who doesn't quite understand what this will mean, it is a competition with a lot of history, but this unit have never done it. At least not yet. They're that close to checking that box and to putting themselves as one of the top teams in Army football. It's really good running from Lewis, and he does force a corner. So a last chance for 7 RHA to get some kind of final joy. The board's about to go up for added time at the end of extra time, and there's going to be 2 minutes. Lewis's corner, right under the goalkeeper. Lockwood won the header, it bounced around and was cleared. Brilliant from Tandy to win it back. Thapper trying to clear, he had a shirt pull, but it continued on. Now Campbell. He's gone for goal from range there, the substitute, leading to nothing. All eyes on the referee, all eyes on the 2-3 bench. We're ready to celebrate. And the truth is, if you look at the results of the Army Major Unit competition this year, with the goals they've scored, the lack of goals they've conceded, they've been the best team in the competition. An 8-0 victory along the way, a couple of 5-0 victories, a 2-0 victory, a 4-2 victory, and as it stands, a 2-0 victory in the final after extra time. Get the job done for 2-3. May not have been their prettiest performance of the season, but it will be their most valuable. Bit more defending to do. Hanley wide for Polius. Cross is blocked, and the frustration shows again on Polius's face.
And once again, 2-3 defensively being solid as well.
Hanley. Ball in. Headed away. Cleared away by Core. Tandy trying to get underneath it. Polius looked offside, but the flag stays down. And that's Silver still battling. And that is the whistle that 2-3 have been waiting for. That is the moment they've been waiting for. The satisfaction of finally winning an Army FA Challenge or Major Unit Cup competition. 2 years ago they came here and were defeated 3-2 by 3 Para. Well, 2025 is the year they were waiting for, it turns out. They've been the better team on the night, they've been the better team in the competition throughout the year, and they get their rewards fully deserved.
More trophies added to the cabinet, as in a sense, for the engineers' 125th anniversary, so they'll be filled with that again. It's another cherry on another cake to top off a great night as well.
Well, we spoke about how the Soldiers game is strong. It's been a bit more of a slog than we expected, that final. Great defensive work, admittedly, but we do have a result after extra time. Let's have a look at the 2 goals, shall we? As the players sort themselves out, we get ready for trophy celebrations. Opened, of course, with this toe poke by Thomas, which is not what anybody expected to see in the end, but it was a scrappy goal that broke the deadlock. And from there, the truth is, it felt like there was one winner. And on the break, it was really well done by Ash Tandy, and finished superbly as well by Callum Vincent. We're just trying to get the players together for this trophy lift. Kath Brazier, I believe, is preparing to possibly speak with Liam Silver as well, who will get his hands on the competition, on the trophy as the captain for 2-3. And we're just getting set for that now. Let's have a word with him now, shall we?
No comms? I can't hear.
In fact, we won't. Slight technical issues as we're trying to get to Liam Silver. But we can see both sets of players getting a round of applause, and a lot of words will be spoken in that. 7 RHA huddle at the moment of, well, they did their absolute best. And sometimes you have to accept you're not the better team on the night.
I think deep down they probably, you know, they knew that the backs were going to be against the wall for that entire game. You know, they come out here with a plan, and to me it looked like a counter-attacking sort of type plan, and maybe get something from a set piece. And we said throughout the game they just lacked that, you know, support when it did go forward, and no one sort of getting around there, sort of number 9, and to go on. Polius was off the game a little bit, second half probably non-existent a bit as well, and that was difficult for them to, you know, to not get nothing out of this game. But they didn't give up. You know, they continued to slug away and try and get something from it, and 2-3 just took them.
Let's just have a quick word with Liam Silver, shall we? In fact, as we say that, he's wheeled away for small celebrations, so it doesn't look like that will be happening. As you'd expect, look, these players are overjoyed, particularly Liam Silver, who said was probably man of the match. Certainly a dominant performance in that midfield. I felt actually in the Army Inter-Services campaign he was sort of overlooked at times. He did his job well, but he wasn't one of the key players in the victories. Tonight he certainly was a key player.
He's not a well-known player throughout the, you know, sort of military football. So people definitely underestimated the ability he's got and the engine that he's got, and he literally will give you absolutely everything, and I think that's what stands out for me as well.
Getting ready for the presentation then, Steve Clark leading it for the Army. Both sets of players coming forward to get their medals. Referees as well, credit to the officials. We said they were an all-star Army officiating team. They kept things calm, they stopped it from getting out of control, and perhaps there were a few maybe questionable challenges.
I think they let the game flow, which was good to see as well. You know, yeah, there was definitely a couple of tackles in there, and cards didn't come later on into the game, but
those cards were standard professional fouls more than anything.
Yeah.
That's a credit to the way this game was played. They get their medals then, the officials. We'll see 7 RHA get their runners-up medals. Just looking at some of the faces with the black and white shirts, there is obvious disappointment. I understand that, and maybe a few of them are asking the question of what could I have done more, what could we have done more as a team, and well, they are on the losing end. In fact, we're going to get the official man of the match, I want to say. Looks like a player of the match award for the man who got the first goal, James Thomas. But defensively, he's been brilliant all night, so I don't think there's any arguments there.
No, they definitely did well defensively.
And it's always good to get a goal as a centre-back to add to your tally. So 7 RHA up then to collect their medals, led by their striker, the tireless runner, but the man who probably didn't get much joy up front, Ryan Lewis. Long round of applause then for 7 RHA. And look on the head coach's face of obviously that disappointment, as we mentioned, but I mean, look, they've had a taste of the final now. We mentioned how 2-3 came here 2 years ago and didn't win. That's what they've got to aspire to do now, and come back and get the win.
And now we come on to the presentation of the winners' medals. He's being made by Armchair Colonel Jones. Your Army Challenge Cup Final 2025 winners, 2-3 Engineer Regiment.
Massive cheer for the winners as they step up to collect their medals. Core getting one. Absolutely been brilliant, hasn't he, on that left-hand side, Core.
Yeah, really impressive. I mean, like tireless, you know, sort of energy, and you know, battling away. again, attitude of losing that ball and not just giving up. He's back on his feet straight away to try and get it back again.
So Franklin Fitzmaurice get another medal for his 2025 campaign, amongst others. Head coaches as well getting a medal, as you'd expect, leaving just one man left to go. Liam Silver steps up to collect his medal and get his hand on the silverware, because the truth is, in 2025 for the major units competition, there's been one top team.
Head coach of 2-3 Engr Regiment step forwards to receive a £500 voucher from L4.
The head coach of 2-3 Engineer Regiment also getting a £500 voucher. Liam Silver stepping away, just stepping into the other side. Oh, we got another one coming in. Now Liam Silver finally gets his hand on the trophy. They've been the best team in the tournament. And it's not always that you see the best team in the tournament win the trophy and lift the trophy. But in 2025, as they get the trophy off the mantle, it has happened. Ready for this celebration, because 2-3 Para Engineer Regiment are the major units champions. He wants another one. Brilliant celebration then for 2-3. We are hoping to hear from their captain, Liam Silver. If we can drag him away from the celebrations, Kath Brazier is beckoning him over. We will finally hear from Silver in just a second. He's just got to do some team photos. These are the moments, isn't it, that these players will really not take for granted in their Army footballing career. It doesn't happen for everybody. These are big moments.
Oh, absolutely. You know, these are things that will stick with them for the rest of their life, and you know, to sort of go on and.
Now the celebrations then will go long into the night, but I'm hoping Liam Silver might take a pause for a second, because we want to hear from the winning captain.
Yeah, she's got him now.
She's got him now. Let's speak to Liam Silver.
Winning captain Liam Silver, you must be delighted. A first time with 2-3 Engineer Regiment on the trophy.
Yes, yeah, it is. We lost 2 years ago. We're just making redemption really for that loss really.
A bit of a turgid game up to full time, but you guys, I don't know what was said at 90 minutes, but you came out firing for extra time and scored 2.
Yeah, we did. I don't know where it came from, I'm not going to lie, but all the blows came through. Absolute 100% on the pitch. It was fantastic.
How frustrating is it when you have to go to extra time and you have to find that extra energy from somewhere? Do you just rely on each other to do that?
Yeah, everybody drags each other in. Yeah, I'm knackered.
Well, congratulations, you are champions for 2025.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Well, that is the jubilant, triumphant 2-3 captain Liam Silver. Thank you so much, Paul, for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you for
we've managed to get through some of the slower parts, but some of the game was absolutely worth seeing. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I'm sure we will have you on our microphone very shortly too. That's it from Aldershot tonight, but not quite from Aldershot this week, because tomorrow night we'll be back for the latest Forces Fight Night. And there's one thing I can tell you about Forces Fight Night, expect the unexpected. It's the Army Boxing Final tomorrow night, live on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel, which I think you'll have a bit of a preview of in a second. But tonight, from Aldershot, it's 2-3's night, and we will see you tomorrow night.